Hi everyone, welcome to the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen. Well, tonight we've got Julie Rogerson back in the kitchen. She's had a fabulous day today doing her Noah's Ark class, and so many of you joined in. It was lovely to see everybody who got involved and made the cakes as well, didn't they? Which is brilliant. So we have Simon on camera tonight. Hi Simon.
Hello.
I'm on comments. And Julie, in a minute, it's going to be a bit of a surprise because as I walk out, we have to do a quick angle change because we have to go down here for Julie.
Today they were going to build me a platform to stand on, so I had to keep going on my tippy toes.
And I was watching you doing this class today, you're on your tippy toes leaning over to do it. So I'm going to let Julie tell you all about this class. She's doing a demo today to make this beautiful frog, which she'll tell you about as well. And if you want to join this class, feel free to still join, okay? Just because the lives actually happened with any of our classes, once you've joined them, the class is yours forever. So you can go back in and out that group as often as you want, ask as many questions, go back, catch up on all the little reels, and still ask. And people are in there, you tag people in if you need some help. And but I have to say, this is a fabulous cake. I absolutely love it, and actually everything Julie does is brilliant as well. So I'm going to hand you over to her now, and I'm going to jump on comments. So I'll see you soon. Yeah. Here you go, Julie.
Okay, thank you. Hi everybody, and yeah, as Carol said, I've been here today working on this Noah's Ark class. So what can I say? We did some marbling for the board, which the ladies really enjoyed. We took a simple 8-inch round cake, carved it into the boat shape. We did some covering and texturing, working with ganache. We worked with Rice Krispie treats to make the little cabin at the top here, this is a cabin on a boat, isn't it? Yeah, the little house. And then also we had a lovely fun afternoon making all of these model animals. And as you can see, they just all have their own little personalities. We had great fun. We did a lot of naming of the animals as well.
Did you name them?
We did. We've got Jimmy and Joan, the giraffes, which are named after my mum and dad. And yeah, we had loads and loads of different suggestions for all of the names for the animals, so that was great. That was really good fun as well. So we also had a request. We've got the little whales down here at the front for some fish as well. One of the ladies wanted to learn how to make fish, so we added those in as well as an added bonus. So we've got the little fish at the front there. But yeah, we've had a really good time. The models are really fun and simple to make, and then you can go on and use those techniques and change them up into different animals as well. I tried to get an assortment of animals in there, so not just focusing on kind of jungle animals, which quite often you get with Noah's Ark cakes. You get a lot of the jungles, like the lions and the tigers, and that kind of thing. So we mixed it up a little bit, and we popped some hippos and pigs and pandas in there as well, which you would then be able to go on and use in other cakes as well, not necessarily just for a Noah's Ark cake. So yeah, it was really good fun, lots to learn, lots of techniques going on, and we just had a really great time. And as I say, the ladies who followed along, I think there was about 4 or 5 people, ladies following on, and their cakes are fabulous. I'm hoping that they'll share them in the main Sugar and Crumbs group as well.
The main group. Yeah. Well, Nutty Lane says she's not named her animals yet, but we've seen your cake and it was fantastic.
It was amazing.
Karen Naylor says class was absolutely brilliant. She loved every minute. So does Kathy Eaton. So everybody who's watching is saying it's an absolutely brilliant class. So feel free to pop along to our website, sugarandcrumbs.co.uk, and on the main page there is a link that says classes, or you can actually go to the tab at the top where it says online classes, drop down to your favourite tutor or all the tutors. But if you drop down to Julie's name, you'll see all the classes she's actually done in the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen, which is wonderful because each and every one has been fantastic. Julie's very kindly donating this cake tomorrow to the Seashell Trust, which is a school for young children with learning difficulties and disabilities as well. In fact, they've got very severe difficult disabilities, and a lot of them have not seen their families all through COVID. So every time we send cakes over, they're absolutely over the moon.
Oh, fabulous.
And the lady who came in to see the first one that Julie did, she was ever so excited. Was
yes, she was. Yes, yeah, and she's because she saw that one there.
And so she's really excited that she's actually getting this one to give to the kiddies tomorrow.
Brilliant. Yeah. Hopefully they'll really like that. I think they'll like all the animals on it. And again, as we were chatting in the class today, and it's not necessarily, you can change it up as well, you can change the colour schemes. So if you were using it, for example, for a baby shower or a gender reveal, you could go more pastel and muted with the tones. if it was for like a baby boy's christening, you could do various shades of blue and just sort of like theme it that way rather than the bright, colourful colours. You can tone them down and use more pastel colours. And then also when COVID goes eventually, hopefully, fingers crossed, and we're having bigger celebrations, you could actually use that as a top tier for a cake and have a larger cake underneath so you've got extra portions. So we talked about lots and lots of different ways that you could change it up, different things that you could do, and yeah, we've just had a really, really fab day with it. Really enjoyed it.
I think it's fantastic, and I think as a gender reveal cake, just nice like that, because nobody's got a clue, have they?
Yes,
every colour in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, how did we end up getting goldfish on this one and not on the other one?
It was a student request. What can I say? We were we were happily minding my own business, making the animals that I had planned to make, and I can't remember now. I don't know if it was. I don't want to. Was it Viv? I think it was Viv. I didn't want to kind of name drop you there and then get the wrong person, but I think it was Viv. Had asked if I could show them how to make fish because she was doing something for somebody who does fishing or something. I don't know. I'm not into fish, but yeah. So we popped on some little goldfish as well with their little open mouths.
And that's what I've got to say. That's what I say that's really good about all our tutors. When they come in the class, they actually give you so much more. There's a lot more tips, and because you can talk to them, and even if you buy the class out at a later date, you do learn from the other students. It's not like a Facebook Live, constant chatter. It is concentration on the tutor, but you do get the opportunity to ask questions, which Karen does ask for you.
Yeah, that's right. And like I say, if you're watching it again later, just tag me in a post or a comment, and I'll come along and answer any questions that you've got. We also changed up the roof as well, and we did the roof slightly differently to what we did on there. So I taught you how to do this one, talked it through, and then we actually changed it and did so you got 2 different roofs for the price of one.
Fantastic.
So fabulous. I'm going to move that one out of the way.
Super.
I'm going to move this one back over here.
And if you wonder why Julie's got a blue plaster on, after working all day happily, 2 minutes before we go live, she decides to chop her finger off. So.
What can I say?
Are you exaggerating there, Karen?
Of course I'm exaggerating.
Blood was spurting.
Blood was everywhere.
It wasn't. I'm going to see how I go, and if I can't work with it on, I'm sure it's stopped by now. I'll take it off and we'll just mop it up as we go along on this nice grey board. So yeah, what we're going to do this evening is we're going to do some more modelling because I love doing models, and we're going to actually make this little frog model. So he's sitting on...
He's not quite so little though, is it?
Well no, this is it, yeah. Especially compared to me. It's about the size of my hand. So yeah, he's sitting on a 6-inch round cake drum, just to give you an idea of the size. So obviously if you imagined that as a 6-inch round cake, that would make a fab topper to go on top of him. He would, again, if you were doing a larger cake, so maybe an 8-inch round cake, you could pop them, because you don't have to do them on a cake drum, obviously you could do them straight onto a cake. You could do a pair of frogs, you could do a his and hers, you could do them as wedding toppers, to be fair. You could have a bride and groom.
It would be nice as a bride and groom.
Bride and groom frogs. Yeah, that would be fab.
Yeah.
So we're going to start off by covering the little cake drum, which we're pretending is a cake. So I've got some blue paste here, which is a nice dark blue, this one. So I feel stupid. You'll have to excuse me with my finger sticking out. It blends in quite nicely though with the blue paste that I'm using. I do apologise. I can, do you know, I've been so careful, but I can be ever so clumsy. I was coming down the stairs earlier on, reading things on my phone. I was coming down really slowly. I did think actually I maybe shouldn't have been doing that. I could come a cropper, and then I came down and cut my finger. So I'm just softening the paste up a little bit there, and then we're just going to roll it out. I only need to use a small rolling pin because it's only a small board that I'm covering.
Mandy Harvey says, oh my word, frogs are my absolute favourite.
Oh, lovely.
I've collected them from all over the world. When anyone ever went away, they always got me one.
Oh, well there we go, you see.
And they're all saying it's nice to see you back, says Helen Miles.
Yes, it's just like not that long ago, is it?
No.
I've been here all day. But yeah, it seems a while since I was in the kitchen last. I think it was, what are we now, June? I think it was April. So I didn't come in. Yeah, I didn't come in May. It was kind of mid-April, I think, because there was Easter and everything, wasn't there? So I didn't come at the beginning of the month. So I'm just going to use a damp cloth just to dampen off the board to stick the paste on. It is a clean cloth. You could also use a little bit of Trex to put that on there, or you could rub a little bit of vodka or something on. It's just to make the cake board a little bit damp so that the paste will stick. I've rolled the paste out to probably about 3 millimetres in thickness. And just a quick smooth over with your cake smoother. And then, oh gosh, I'm getting the knife back out. Take cover.
This is what caused the damage in the first place.
Would you believe it? This tiny little knife caused all the chaos earlier. Right, so I'm just going to gently, with my hand tucked under out of the way.
Well, Kathy says her husband likes frogs too. She thinks he got jealous of her Minnie and Mickey collection, so he collects frogs, and the grandchildren now call him Grandad Frog.
Oh.
Looks like you'll be making this one, Kathy, doesn't it?
There could be worse names, couldn't they? Grandad
and
Frog.
I see Lisa Matusha's here. So Lisa was in the kitchen on Thursday. I was speaking to her earlier. It took her 8 hours to get home. Bless her.
Gosh, that's a journey. That's epic. That's an epic journey, that
isn't it? 8 hours to get home. But that's what happens, isn't it? Hot weather. Yeah. Friday day going home.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the kids finish school early. Well, the kids are off school now, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. So there we go. So we've just covered that in just some blue sugar paste there. And then we're going to move on and make the little lily pad that the frog's sitting on. So I'm using Saracino modelling paste today. You could just use sugar paste, to be fair, with the lily pad, but it's just that I've got obviously a lot of the modelling paste here with me today because I've been doing the class and this is what we've been using. So I'm just going to get a chunk of the green out. I'm going to try and break it off with my hand rather than getting the knife.
If any of you get Saracino, it is difficult to get moulding, but when you do, it's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. And I find
and
as well,
smells amazing.
It does smell gorgeous. You tend to find quite often the smaller packs, so the 250 gram packs, to me always seem firmer when I'm using them. Although having said that, I did open a yellow one today, which I'm going to be using again tonight, and that was quite soft actually. It was quite malleable. But I do find the tubs.
Are all these made with Saracino then?
Yeah, they're all. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, so the kids can eat them ones then, can't they?
Yeah.
Delicious.
Okay, so again, we're just kneading this nice and soft. And we're going to roll this out to probably about 2 millimetres in thickness. Just with the rolling pin there. So we're trying to keep it to a kind of a roundish shape. But we're going to be cutting the lily pad out, so it doesn't really matter, to be honest. Getting a good shot of my plaster there, aren't you?
Oh.
So you're getting a really good shot.
Unless you put that hand behind your
zoom in on your finger.
So yeah, so if we could just work one-handed for the whole night. Oh, I am sorry. Oh, I don't know. You can't take me anywhere, can you? It could have been worse. I could have done like a really big job and ended up going to casualty, couldn't I? And not doing the live, that would have been worse. So I'm going to use just a plastic roller cutter to go around. Obviously you could use a sharp knife to cut it, you could use a pizza cutter, pizza roller. I quite like these little plastic ones because you've got quite a bit of control going around, and we're just going to cut out just kind of a rough lily pad shape. So just kind of oops, an ovally shape, like so. Just try it over your board to make sure you haven't made it too big. That's okay, that fits. And then I'm just smoothing around the edge, just with my finger, just to soften those edges. Move that a bit higher up, get rid of that waste.
So just to let you know, Julie's using a plastic cutter, which you can use on the grey board.
Yes.
And as Julie's the proud owner of a pink and a grey board, she knows how to use them.
I do.
Do you treasure yours? Do you stroke your boards?
I do, absolutely. And I change it up as well, because I've got an old green one of these boards, a big one, which is not quite as big as this, is it? Because these ones are bigger, the grey and the pink ones. So I've got my green one to a side, which is where I do my cutting, to be fair, when I'm at home. And then I alternate between my pink and my grey one, whichever I'm using. One's out on the side and the other one is being used.
I like that.
It's just out there, it's just there. So yeah, I do alternate. Yeah, absolutely. Well, you see, I started off with the grey one because the grey one is really good for when I'm photographing for like tutorials and things for magazines, because it gives you a really good backdrop. So that's really fab, rather than the white sometimes is a bit too bright and the green ones is a little bit too in your face. So the grey is fabulous for doing that. But then when I looked at it, I thought, well, actually, I like the pink one because that matches the blinds. And I did put a photo in the group, in the Sugar and Crumbs group, and it is absolutely colour perfect match to my blinds in my studio, so I couldn't resist. But anyway, so we're going to just cut like a V shape.
Yeah, more of the extra large boards that have arrived today. They've gone in stock, so has rolling pins as well. Cake drums have gone in stock today. Fractals all back in stock. FMN is in stock. The little rose mould that Doe's Darlings like is in stock, is on the website. There's loads of things. Go and check out what's new, and check out the website. I've changed it round. Go under brands and check out there and see whether you like what I've done there. So I've checked it out.
I'm going to go and have a look later. I haven't had a
Spent
chance yet.
6 hours on it yesterday.
They've had me working too hard. I haven't had a chance yet.
Yeah.
So just a little
I've not
tiny.
seen much of you today though. Not
No,
even in the
been-
breaks, no.
Yeah, no, I've been keeping quiet, keeping out of the way. Okay, so just a little bit of water just to make sure that the lily pad sticks in place. And we're just going to pop that on there. And then all we're going to do, just with the narrow end of your Dresden, is we're just going to, it's not going to be botanically correct. I'll get that out there now.
Yeah,
I'm not a flower maker. So we're just going to pop some little lines on there just to give an effect of a little bit of veining. Okay, but as I say, the frog's sitting on there. The frog is the main character on there. This is just for a little bit of additional decoration. So let's make a start on the frog. Again, I'm going to be using the Saraceno paste, and I need 200 grams of the green. Now, confession time. When I weighed it, I only had like 180 something grams. So I'm actually going to mix in some of the darker with the light green, and it'll just give us a little bit of a different shade. That's all.
I think that'll look nice too.
I think it'll be fine. Yeah. So I'm just going to knead those together. It might take me a couple of minutes, so bear with me.
Worry. Yes, I was meant to be having yesterday off, but I actually took Saturday off. I did nothing on Saturday. I actually sat down and watched TV all day. So, and literally nothing. But I did spend all day. I started work at 11 o'clock yesterday and finished at 2:30 this morning. So got Julie in, got her sorted. Said to Julie I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
But I was playing with my menu all day. Then I had new products to put on, and then a load of other stuff to have to do.
I don't know. So yeah, we're just going to knead this all together and just mix in that little bit of dark green just to make up the quantity there. And like I say, you just bear with it. Like we say, the paste is a little bit hard to start with.
But it's worth kneading it just to smell it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Smells good,
Especially
do you think it smells nice?
Don't you like it?
Can you
Which one is
smell
it?
it down there, the Saraceno?
No, I can't smell
You don't smell it there?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I like the, you can see I've gone taller. I'm up on my tiptoes to get my weight behind it.
Yes, Karen Naylor, you are relearning the website tomorrow. So what I've done is I've changed all the brands. If you go to the brand section, I've changed all that. And because we're Sugar and Crumbs, I was talking to Julie about it tonight, that when you go through the brands alphabetically, we're right at the bottom. And it's a bit daft, but it's our website, isn't it? So I thought, actually, I'm going to move that right to the top. And then I looked at what we had in our accessories, and our accessories, we had about 140 to 150 items, and we've got more stuff coming in. So I actually categorised them all. Had a great day. Then I mucked it all up and lost half the menu. I was dying thinking, I'm going to see it. I'm going to see something on the community group now. I can't find half these brands. I found them all again.
Oh no. There, so you can see it's changed the colour a little bit, but it's still green, so it's still going to be a frog. Okay, and I've just got a little pair of scales with me, just so I can tell you the measurements as well. Because I know some of you, when you're doing models, do like to know how much each bit weighs, rather than just pulling off a chunk and saying, yeah, that's the bit we're going to use. So for the body, we're going to use 70 grams altogether. So let's just weigh out that. Oh, that's too much.
So I know some of you are asking about the Wonder Dust, and Julie's going to be using it. Seriously, we are waiting for it. It's just like everything at the moment. You know, John's pulling his hair out because he paid for this stuff 7 weeks ago. Because when he does, he pays in advance and has a rolling order coming in. And the manufacturer said that they've shipped, and they definitely said it would ship today. And we've not had a notification that it's shipped today either. So until we get that notification, we don't know. It's like there's a few things, a lot of things that I have ordered, I've just been waiting for. We're waiting on the couriers. And I'm not sure whether you know at the moment, the courier, just trying to get things out of the UK into Europe is very difficult. In fact, we can't get anything into Europe. We can get to America and Australia far quicker.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, all the couriers now have closed down anything edible. So you can't send anything edible out of the UK. You have to have a European address now.
Crazy, isn't it? So we're just rolling the 70 grams into a ball to start with. Now as you roll it with the modelling paste, as you roll it around in your hands, the heat from your hands helps to smooth the paste and smooth away any cracks. You will sometimes, unless you stand here for like ages and ages, you will have a few little hairline cracks, but all we're going to do is pop those at the bottom of the model so you won't see them, and then the top half is beautifully smooth. So we've got our ball, and we're just going to, obviously bearing in mind where the bottom is going to be, I'm just going to angle my hands a little bit, so if I show you that way as well. And we're just going to turn that, make that into a cone shape. Now if you find it easier, you can lay it down on the board, angle your hand and roll it like this. What you don't want to do is put it on the board and roll it this way, because what will happen is you'll flatten the bottom of the model and it will just look as if it's kind of had its bottom half chopped off, and it'll look really odd. So we need to keep that rounded edge for the bottom of the model. So as I say, if you're doing it onto the board, have it sideways and roll it this way, or use your hands at an angle and just roll it between your hands.
So just let me tell you a little bit about Saraceno. Some of you are saying you find it rock hard. It is. Don't try kneading a whole load of it. You need to break it up into small amounts and then start to knead. Just take your time and it suddenly all softens up. It is actually cocoa butter in there, so it does soften, but because it is butter, it goes actually really very hard as well. So don't panic, and if you get really stuck, just bung it in the microwave 5 seconds, no more though, because you don't want it, just don't do it any longer than that. 5 seconds.
It tends to dry it out if you do it for longer.
5 seconds, and when I say 5 seconds, I mean 5 seconds, and then start moulding it, but little bits at a time. And I will tell you, it's delicious. So when you make models with Renshaw flour paste or Squire's flour paste, you can't eat them, but these you can eat. So this cake here, where Julie has made all the models with Saraceno, that means that everybody can eat them, and they're going to taste delicious as well.
Absolutely. So what I'm doing here, just for the front of him, just on his tummy there, I'm using some yellow paste. Now I find the yellow quite a bright gaudy yellow colour, so I'm actually turning it down. I've used a 50-50 mix of the yellow coloured Saraceno and the white together, and that just, if I show you just in case, because it was while we were chatting, so that was the yellow to start with, look, and you can see, I'll just get a little bit out of the plastic.
Push your cake back away.
Yeah, I will do.
Yeah, and
so you can see the difference there.
The only thing with Saraceno is once you start eating it, it's very difficult.
You see, I've not tried it, so no, so I'm deciding not going to.
You love the smell as well, don't you?
I love the smell, especially the chocolates.
I've not ate it, no. I've ate it in the past.
In the past,
since I've been on my diet.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. Okay, so I'm just going to take quite a lot there. Okay, so I'm just going to roll that into a ball. And then again, we're going to roll that into a cone shape. So you can either do it in your hands, with your hands at a 45-degree angle, or you can pop it onto your board and just roll it. But say, have your hand on an angle so that it's just elongating it down into like a carroty cone shape, like that. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to start flattening it with your finger. Oops. And once you've started flattening it, then what we're going to do is just pick it up, and between your thumb and your finger, we're just going to start squeezing the paste around the edges, and that's just thinning the paste out, because what you don't want is to have like a great big chunk of paste on the front for his tummy. This is just going to give it a little bit of colour. So just keep going around and around, thinning it out between your finger and your thumb. Now if you start getting quite warm hands, which makes the paste a little bit sticky, you can just use a cornflour pouch, just rub your hands on it, and that helps with the paste. There we go. So just measure it onto the body as well, because you don't want it to be too big. I think that fits quite nicely on the body there. Just going to thin it a tiny bit more, and then we'll start smoothing it into place. So I'm going to pop a little tiny bit of water just on the front there. I think I must have been doing some painting with that brush, some dusting. But it's going to be covered, so don't worry, we won't see that mark. And I'm just going to press that on, and then just pick it up, and I'm just going to start blending that. So I'm just kind of gently rocking my finger over the edges there, just to blend it in with the body. And you can use kind of the fleshy part of your palm as well to do that. And that will give him his lovely yellow tummy. Okay, so there he is. I'm going to pop that onto our lily pad. So again, just using a little bit of water.
So quick answer to your question, Gillian. Can you use Saraceno in moulds? Absolutely.
Yes, I'm going to be using that tonight in moulds.
Yeah. Yes, Julie's going to use a couple of new moulds tonight. And just to let you know, Karen Davies has released 2 new moulds. She's not doing a dem until she's going on holiday next week, so I think it's the week after. But they are in stock as well. So she's done the weather mould and the football mould.
They look fabulous. I saw those online.
So they're in stock as well.
I've not seen the actual moulds themselves, but I did see them online.
No, I've not seen them. They're arriving tomorrow.
Ah, brilliant.
I put them in stock after 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah.
So that we missed all the next day deliveries.
Good thinking. And
they'll be here tomorrow.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at some kind of support, because as you can see his head is quite big, and so to support the weight of it you do need some kind of simple structure inside. So there's a couple of different options you can use, and the option that I'm going to use is a cake pop stick. The reason I'm using the cake pop stick is because 1, it's food safe, 2, if you cut it, which we're going to have to cut it, it's easy to cut with scissors, and also it doesn't splinter when you cut, it cuts straight through. So if, for example, somebody is going to eat the model, you could use the wooden, like a little wooden kebab skewer. These are some sort of mini ones. You can get the longer ones as well. But sometimes when you cut these, the little bits of wood will splinter off. So obviously, if it is a model that you're going to eat, you are better to use something that doesn't splinter, if possible. You could use edible spaghetti, like the dried spaghetti, but to be honest, because the head is so big and heavy, it is liable, if you're not careful, to snap. If you did want to use edible spaghetti, dried spaghetti, I would suggest putting either 2 or 3 strands at least together and pop them in, just to give you that little bit of added stability and security, because they are quite flimsy. All I'm going to do is just, whilst I'm holding the cake pop stick, I'm just twisting as I push it down, and by twisting as you push, it means that it's not distorting the shape of the body. If you was just pushing that down, it can result in the body kind of squishing out a bit, which we don't want. So we twist it until we get right down to the bottom, and then, as I say, we can just trim that to size with a pair of scissors. So I do want to leave some sticking out, and we can adjust this later on if I end up leaving too much. And as I say, they just cut really easily with the scissors without any splinters there. So that's the support ready for the head. But before we do the head, we're going to look at doing the legs. So we're going to do the back legs first, which are these ones here. And these are longer, and then we're going to do the little front legs in there. So for the back legs, we actually want 15 grams for each leg. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to weigh 30 grams and then just cut that in half, which is easier. So I've just got a little cutting board here so that I can use my sharp knife. I'll try not to cut myself again. So I'm just rolling it into a bowl.
How did you do it the first time?
I was cutting some white sugar paste off a block of paste, and I think I'd cut it and gone through And it literally, it's the tiniest bit, but it just wouldn't stop bleeding.
Like a paper cut, isn't it?
Yeah. So all I'm going to do is just cut that ball in half, just to give me my 2 pieces for each leg. And we're going to knead that. I'm keeping it out of the way so that I don't mark the paste with it. It's like my posh finger for when you're drinking with your little finger out, isn't it? It's my posh modelling finger, don't you know? Okay, so we're going to roll it into a ball. When you're modelling, nearly everything starts as a ball. And then we're going to roll into a sausage, which you can do either with your hands like this, or again you can pop it on your board and roll. Now we need to roll this so that it's quite long, because frogs have quite thin, spindly, long legs. Or my frog does anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know whether real frogs, I don't know, are they a bit thicker?
I try not to look at them close. I've got a story to tell about a frog, but I won't mention it today. I've already told my one of my classes about it.
Oh, okay.
Never got over it.
So we're rolling it out to about 10 centimetres in length, roughly. Okay, it doesn't have to be exact, but it's just around that length. Just for, obviously it's difficult for you to see on camera exactly how big the pieces are sometimes, so at least if I give you the measurement it gives you more of an idea if you want to have a go yourself. So again, we'll soften that paste, roll into a ball, and then we're going to roll it into a sausage. So I tend to start it off in my hands first and then move onto the board, like so. And I'm using both hands and kind of moving them along the paste just to try and keep it to an even thickness. If you struggle rolling it out with your fingers, you can actually use a cake smoother and roll it backwards and forwards that way. And again, if you're rolling like a really long rope for something, I don't know, to go around a cake or something, you can use 2 cake smoothers and kind of keep moving them outwards like this to roll a nice even shaped rope. So there we go. So we've got them roughly the same length. And what we're going to do to create the knee area is just with your finger, we're just going to roll and thin that middle piece, like so. And then we're going to do the same again to create an ankle. So down towards the bottom of the leg, like so. So we'll do the same on the other one. Okay, so create an indent in the middle for the knee, and then again at the bottom for the ankle. Oops. Okay, so for the knee, we're going to bend where that indent was, and then with your thumb and finger at each side, you're actually going to squeeze that so that it gives you a good square angle there, like so. Because obviously when you first do it, look, it's kind of quite bent and quite, it's not straight, it's not a straight good angle. I don't know what the word is. It's a little bit, yeah, it's not right. But just by squeezing the paste together between your thumbs and your fingers, it gives you that nice knobbly knee with a nice straight angled. Mm-hmm. And then what we're going to do is we're going to turn that over so that you've got your knee facing upwards, and we're going to just press down on that bottom bit there to create his little foot. Okay, so we'll do the same with the other one and create his little foot there. And I've popped it on the cutting board because I'm actually going to cut out his toes now, which I don't want to do on the proper mat. So I've got a scalpel here, but you can use just a sharp knife as well. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out in the middle of the foot a very slim V shape. So a little bit like when we made the lily pad. And then the same again at each side there. So a little V there. I'm being a bit brave, aren't I, with this scalpel?
You are.
Oh dear, there we go. So it just gives you nice little pointy toes. And then you can also, just with your finger and your thumb, just give them a little bit of a pull and a squeeze and a twiddle.
That's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah, pull and a squeeze and a twiddle. Just to separate the toes out and just shape them a little bit. Okay, and then we'll do the same again. So remember, in the middle, we're just cutting out a thin V shape, and then the same again at the sides there. Oops. And then again there, just to create his 4 toes, which I'm hoping frogs have 4 toes, I don't know. And then just give them a little bit of a shape with your fingers. There we are. And again, you can just flatten that foot a little bit, just with your finger, so it sits nice and flat against your board. So a bit like you did with the knee, we're just giving that a little bit of a squeeze together. Just to create that definition there where the ankle is. Let's get rid of those bits. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to cut this on a diagonal so that it fits flush with the body. So that's going to be sitting upwards so that the knee is pointing up. So we need to cut a diagonal this way. So what I'm going to do is just trim that like so, and then we'll try it on the body. Obviously that's going to fit nice and flush with his feet up,
look at that. How cute
up
is
in
that?
the air. Okay, so a little bit of water on the cut edge, and you can also, if you want, put a little bit of water underneath his foot. Let's just make sure we get them in the right place. There we go, so there's one. And then the same with the other one, a little bit of water just on the cut edge where we cut that diagonal, and then underneath his foot as well, just to help support it while it dries. And it looks a bit weird, but don't forget he's going to have his front legs coming down the middle there. It looks a bit unelegant at the moment, doesn't he? Honestly. Sorry.
Legs akimbo.
Legs akimbo. Absolutely. Typical man. Sorry, Simon.
True though.
Oh dear. So I'm just going to use my Dresden there just to make sure, just tuck in that leg
Right, Chippy, come in.
under the body. There we are. Okay, so for the front legs, we're going to be using 8 grams of paste per leg. So let me see. So I'm just going to weigh out 16 grams and then cut it in half again because it's easier rather than weighing out 2 pieces. Yeah, that's roughly. And again, these are really just rough guides for the measurements. Don't get too hung up on it being exactly the right size. Because obviously as well, even though you're using potentially the same amount of paste as me, like example for the body, depends how you've shaped it. Yours might be taller than mine, it might be shorter. So just use these as a really rough guide.
So Pam Gibson says, just out of interest, do you always prefer to use water rather than edible glue?
More often than not, yes. Edible glue is absolutely fine, and sometimes it is needed if you're sticking something that's a little bit larger or something that needs a little bit more support. But to be honest, this modelling paste is naturally quite sticky. Sometimes I don't use any water or glue at all. Sometimes, quite often, I mean, like with the tummy, I did put a little bit of water there, but to be honest, it probably wasn't needed. It was just so that it didn't fall off. All right, Simon?
You know, Simon, you nearly jumped out of the chair then. No, we're leaving it on.
Do we not normally turn it on?
Not now, whatever. We're Julie's staying tonight.
Oh, sorry.
So we've got a fly catcher in the kitchen. I forgot to tell Simon it was on, but if you were this end of the camera, I think Simon's just jumped quite high out of his chair, didn't he?
Yeah.
Luckily, I didn't press anything.
Oh, sorry, that was so funny. I'm sorry. You'd have laughed when I came back in earlier. Simon was in here setting up, and I knew he would probably be here, but it didn't kind of register. And as I came through the door, I jumped a mile, so that's just, that's payback.
Jackie Edmonds said, oh my God, did you all hear it really loud?
Yeah.
Loads of them have heard it.
Yeah, we did in here, definitely.
Yeah, that would have been.
Simon heard it really loud.
Yeah, that was funny, that.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't think you lot could hear it down there. That's the thing when you get warm weather, the flies are out,
Yeah,
aren't they?
definitely.
So, driving me nuts.
So the front legs are a little bit shorter because obviously they're not having that big bend in the knees. So these are roughly around 6 centimetres. So just over half the length. So the back legs we did to about 10 centimetres, and these are just a little bit more than half of that, so about 6 centimetres. But again, you can measure it on your model because it depends how tall your model is. So just measure and have a little look to see, and make sure you're happy with the length. You can trim them. So what I would do is I would shape them first, and then you can trim them at the point where you add them to the body. And again, what we're going to do with these is we're going to give him some like little elbows, although we're not bending the elbows, but we're just giving it a bit of shape. So just an indent in the middle here. And then again, so where we did earlier on for the feet, we're going to do some little indents there. If you're finding it hard, if it's not rolling very well across your board, you can use your thumb and your finger just to twiddle around like so. And again, we're just flattening the paste out to make the little hand. Or do they have 4 feet? Am I?
Oh, Simon, correct us now.
I was going to say, I'm just waiting.
Do they have 2 feet and 2 hands, or 4 feet? What do they have?
I don't know.
Mine's a cartoon frog, and he has
2 feet,
hands and feet.
You'll probably not even call them hands or feet. You'll probably call them
Mine are.
They've all heard,
or something, aren't they?
they've all heard it, jumped out of the skin because they've all got their earphones in.
Oh.
Some thought it was me opening up a can. No, I've binned off the cans of Coca-Cola. Don't have them anymore now.
So we're just shaping the hands in exactly the same way. So just cutting out those little V shapes to give us some nice pointy fingers on our frog hands.
Little Chippy's in here. He's laid down here. Didn't you hear a thing? It shows how deaf he's gone.
Yeah, you see, I didn't take biology, I took physics at school,
Yeah.
so I don't know. My daughter would probably know because she did animal management at college. But anyway, so there we go. So just shape the little fingers. And sometimes on frogs, they actually have like little bulbous bit on the ends, don't they? Like little balls. Yeah. But this frog hasn't. This frog's got nice pointy hands. And then again, what we're going to do is just trim it on a diagonal. So I'm just going to turn it over onto its side, and we're just going to trim the end there. So we're actually going to make them the same size. So this one probably is a little bit too long, so let's trim a bit more off that one, and then trim that one. And we'll bring the model back in and fit those in place. So again, they're coming sort of from the top here. Let's just bend over those hands so the hands are nice and flat onto the board. That's that way. So we're just bending them and giving them a little squeeze just to flatten them off. And then a little bit of water just on the cut edge, like so. And they just stick in place. Well, for some reason it's not sticking. There we go. Did I put a little bit on his hand? I didn't, did I? Pop a little bit under his hand just to help that stick in place properly. There we go. Okay, so there's his hands and his legs. So now he doesn't look quite so legs akimbo, does he, anymore? Because he's got his hands in place and his arms. Just press that onto the body to make sure that they're sticking in place.
Lisa Rachel Merlin said, animal management. When her nephew did an activity in reception, he told us he wasn't a shepherd, he was a sheep manager.
A sheep manager? Ooh, that is fancy. I like that. They do come up with some good fancy names, don't they?
And Nikki King said she didn't know frogs had little balls on their hands. Do they?
Some of them do. I'm sure I do. Is it the tree frogs? Do you know they have like little suckers?
Oh, yes,
on the ends of their toes, yeah, and then to help them climb. A little bit like...
I have the answers.
Go on.
Sorry, did that come out loud?
Hands and feet.
They have hands and feet?
Oh,
yes!
you can.
See?
I'm sorry
Do you know, honestly, you just had to give him one hand and take with the other. Go on.
4 fingers, 5 toes.
Really?
Do they? Is that what it is?
Mine had an accident. It chopped off its toes. Oh wow, I never knew that. Oh.
But I wouldn't worry about it because I think that the other toe is quite small.
Oh, are they?
You don't notice it.
All right. So a little bit like them thingy claws on dogs,
Yeah,
where it's
dew claws.
dew claws, yeah. I don't know. Again, my daughter would know that because she's a dog groomer, so she knows. She did the animal management, so she can manage animals, and now she's a dog groomer. So.
See, I was thinking maybe they only have 3 toes, but...
Oh, was you?
Yeah.
Oh no, I thought they had more than 3, definitely.
But,
Oh,
yeah.
there we go, you see. And
Well, actually, a few people have just been Googling that. So Nick Anna just checked as I was curious.
Yeah.
Yep, so they all got it. It was you just checking at the same time. I bet everybody's just Googled all about frogs, haven't they, all at the same time?
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's those tree frogs that are like a little bit poisonous.
Yeah.
I think are they Australian or somewhere they have the little suckers. It's a bit like geckos and those kind of like lizardy gecko type things. My son's got a leopard gecko, but some of those have like little suckers. His hasn't, but some of them do because they climb up the walls in the vivariums. See, I know a little bit about reptiles. Not a lot, but a little bit.
Well, one lady disagrees with us. So Sue Mellon says no, they're all legs, 4 toes at the front and 5 toes at the back. But we might have to disagree with you, Sue, because they've all been Googling.
And mine's a cartoon once, and mine's not real.
And Simon's taken the credit. He
Oh,
did say it first.
Mine's
well,
a...
yeah, but I've only Googled it. I can't say it's...
Yeah, you didn't know the answer. You had to Google it.
dear. So again, we've got a little bit of a crack going on here, but rather than going round and around and around for ages, because my hands are getting quite warm, we're just going to pop that to the bottom, okay? And so that we've got a nice smooth surface on the top. And we're just going to start squeezing around the top half here. We want the bottom half of the face to stay quite wide and quite rounded, but we're just...
And can I just check, was it
Yes.
15 grams for the legs?
For the back legs it was 15 grams, and then I cut it in... the back legs are 15 grams each, so it was a 30 gram ball that I cut in half. The front legs are 8 grams each, so I did a 16 gram ball and cut it in half. Yeah, just roughly. But what you could do is just roll it out and then size it up with your actual model. If you don't have the measurements, it doesn't really matter too much. Okay, so we're just thinning off the top part of his head like so. And just use your fingers just to kind of rub away any sharp edges that you might have or any indents, because it wants to be quite smooth. Like so.
And the weight for the head?
80 grams.
80 grams for the head.
So the head is a bit bigger than the body. The body was 70 grams and the head is 80 grams.
But this is a large frog that Julie's making,
Yeah.
so you could scale it all down.
Absolutely, definitely. Okay, so we've got our frog head there, and we're just going to use the Dresden tool to just press in the middle of the top of the head, like so. And we're just going to kind of just smooth that and soften it a bit with your finger, just rolling your finger along. There, look, just to smooth, so that you haven't got any of those hard tool lines. And this is just starting to open up the top of the head, look, because he's got kind of a shaped head at the top, or mine has anyway. Like I say, it might not be anatomically correct, but he looks cute, and that's what I'm going for. Okay, so again, we're just thinning that a little bit at the top, so just a little bit of a squeeze with your finger and your thumb, just to shape it. Again, a little bit of corn flour on your hands if they're getting all sticky. And if you find that your paste is getting quite sticky and quite soft when you're working with it, just leave it for a few minutes just to firm up a bit, and then carry on what you're doing. So let's give him a nice big smiley frog mouth. So I'm actually going to turn it upside down to do that, and I'm just going to use my Dresden. I'm going to mark the mouth in. So just a nice smooth curved line. If you're a little bit worried about doing it with your Dresden tool, you can use a circle cutter as well. Just get quite a large circle cutter just to make that arc. And then I'm actually going to use this smile tool, which is, you get it in like the sets of modelling tools. It looks a little bit like a scoop that you used to get at the pick and mix, like the sweetie scoops. And we're just going to indent at each end of the mouth there, just with like a little curved line like so. Again, that's optional, you don't have to do that bit. You could also use a ball tool. I've got a small ball tool in here somewhere. I know I have because I've used it today. There it is. because it's small, it gets right down to the bottom. You could just use a small ball tool and just indent a little circle at each side. Okay. And then what we're going to do is pop them in some little nostrils. So I'm just using the pointy end of my Dresden, and I'm just going to pop 2 little nostrils in place there. And then for the eyes, we're going to open these up with a ball tool. So we're going to use a medium-sized ball tool. I'm just going to start gradually just rubbing that backwards and forwards to start indenting the eye sockets. Okay. And then we're going to start pushing it up. And can you see there? I'm hoping you can see it. It starts to push the paste upwards.
That's cute, isn't it? That's a good idea.
Yeah. So you can as well, another way of doing it is to do like a round head and then just stick the eye sockets on. But this way, you're kind of building it in and building that shape.
That's really good.
So again, you're going quite deep, and we are going to fill these in with white paste, so you won't see how deep you've gone, but it just helps you to lift up and give him, because they have like really googly eyes, don't they, real bulgy eyes. So we've opened that right up there, and then I'm going to use some white modelling paste just to fill those eye sockets. Okay, so just give that a little knead to soften it up, and then we're going to roll out a couple of balls of paste. Now you'll need to try them for size, because obviously it depends on how big you have made your eye sockets. There we go, that's not a bad fit, because we do want it to be a little bit bulgy. So we'll see how that goes. It might be a bit too big, but we'll give it a try. And you want to try and make your 2 balls a similar size. I mean, obviously, again, if your eye sockets are both different sizes, you're going to be needing to adjust them slightly. But let's just try those.
So Helen Miles says, Julie, you explain things really well.
Oh, fabulous. Now you see there's a reason for that.
And Viv Gardine says she could watch you all day making animals.
Oh,
she did.
You did, yeah. Yeah. She's still here now.
2 by 2.
Yeah, you see,
2 giraffes, 2 elephants, 2 biggies, 2 hippos. What else have you done there?
Pandas,
2 pandas,
whales,
2 whales,
fish,
yeah, 2
giraffes, elephants.
Yeah,
all the animals.
You did watch her all day.
2 by 2. 2 by 2. The reason that I explain things potentially quite well is because I used to be a nursery nurse. I used to work with 4 and 5 year olds, and you had to explain everything really, really well to them. So a lot of people.
They are.
I'm not calling you 4 and 5. I'm not calling you 4 and 5 year olds, but it's inbuilt to me, so it kind of comes naturally. And as a mum of 3, 2 of which were boys. Sorry, Simon. Again, I kind of feel I have to over-explain things sometimes. Bless them. I'm not saying all men are like that, honestly. I've got nothing against men, I promise, honest. So I'm going to, into the white eye, I'm just going to indent with the ball tool. And this is going to be where I'm going to put the black paste for the pupils. So the reason I'm indenting in there is if I just started sticking more paste on the top, I know frogs have got bulgy eyes, but otherwise you're just going to end up, they're going to look like they're on stalks coming out of the holes, because the eyes are going to be so big and with so many layers of paste. Whereas if you indent each bit into the previous layer.
And Gemma Louise Townsend said the class today was fantastic, and she can't wait to make the cake.
Oh, thank you. I enjoyed it.
I think this cake you'll make time and time again.
Oh yeah,
I think
definitely.
once you start making this for everybody, they'll all be like, oh, I want it.
Yeah. And like I say, you can use the skills that you've learnt to then go on and create different animals as well, so you can mix and match the animals. Now that one is a slightly bit smaller, that pupil, so I'm just going to add an extra little ball of black on top and just press it in, just to try and match up the sizes a little.
Do you have a book with all your animals then?
No, I don't.
No.
I should write one.
You should, yeah.
Yes, I should.
So Kathy Eaton says she's made this frog for an article that you wrote in a magazine.
Yes.
Julie explained it really well there too, and she must have, if I could read it. Was it the Cake Decoration magazine?
No, it was for the Cake Minds magazine.
Right.
No, if it had been for the Cake Decoration magazine, because that's a paid for magazine, I wouldn't have been able to do it, but this one, it's a free, so I didn't actually get paid for doing the tutorial. It was all the Cake Minds tutors that submitted them, and we made it as a free resource, which was publicly available everywhere for free. So then I can, but obviously it was just a photographed one, it wasn't a video. So it's nice to be able to actually see it sometimes being done.
Julie, make a book.
Oh, bless you, thank you.
So Jackie Adams says she now feels like she's missed out not being on Julie's class today, but I've got to catch up on other classes she's bought. We can always buy this class at a later date. All the classes are later. And if you listen to other people who've bought the classes later, they always say they still really enjoy them and they don't even know that they're later because it's still part of it, isn't
exactly.
it? Yeah.
So we're just going to roll some really small balls of white paste there, look. So again, I've made some little tiny holes with my ball tool, and these are just to make some little highlights for the eyes, which makes quite a difference. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to do just a ring of black to line around the eyes as well. So I'm going to, with a fine paintbrush. It comes
together when you put that second ball of white on his eye, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I'm just going to, with a fine paintbrush, just paint.
It looks very cute.
Just a thin line of water around the eye, like so. And then with my black, what I'm going to do is, just at one end, I'm going to start rolling. And can you see there, look, it really thins out the end, but it still gives me something to hold on to, because there's nothing worse, when you're trying to kind of hold really tiny, thin pieces of paste. Because we want that to be a really thin strand to go around his eye. But again, you see, I can control that now because I've got my thick piece of paste there to hold on to. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the bottom there. And I'm going to wind that around the eye. Whoops.
Karen Naylor said she took the day off as a day's holiday today and was worthwhile doing the class. She was very excited about doing the class today.
She was. I know. I'm just going to pop a little bit more water on there. It's not sticking very well. It's one of those things where you've got to be careful not to put too much water on because you don't want the black paste to bleed. But there again, you want enough water on there so that it actually sticks. So let's try again.
So talking to classes, because lots of you have said that you bought classes as well. Doe's Griffin's class on Friday has been moved. I've actually emailed everybody who's in that class and we've moved it to next Friday. Now it was Father's Day cake toppers, but it doesn't seem to have tweaked your attention. So Doe has been showing you all how to make children's little trains and tractors and other things. So we've now renamed the group, so you can still do it in time for Father's Day, but we've renamed it for next Friday, and it's something for the boys, that's what it's called. So lots of cute things in there. So if you go and have a look, it's up on the website, it's for sale, so a week on Friday. Plus, we've got classes every single day this week, so I think you'll be glad to have Friday off, sit back and watch Karen back in the kitchen doing Free Fun Friday.
That sounds like a plan.
Yeah, let Karen do all the work on Friday.
Definitely. There we go. So I'm just going all the way around the eye, and then when it gets to the point where it meets up again, I'm just trimming that.
That's a good idea.
With the scalpel there, like that. So just
very neat.
Yeah, there we go. And it just kind of brings the eyes to life, really. It just kind of makes them pop, because they are big bulgy eyes on a frog. So then I'm going to bring my body back in, and what I'm going to do is where I've left my cake pop sticking out there, I'm just going to actually measure. So I'm going to pop my head next to it, because the last thing I want is for the cake pop stick to start poking out the top of the head. Now remember, we've made a groove at the top here, so the bit where the cake pop stick is going to be is actually lower down than the top here. So I am actually going to trim a tiny bit off. So I'm going to just hold on to that top bit there with my hand, just so that it doesn't ping and hit Simon in the eye, because you're right on my firing.
I'm about you chopping the end of your finger off.
Ah, no, sorry. Yeah. Don't worry about that. Who's the first aider? I used to be a first aider, but I was only a paediatric, because I was a nursery nurse, I was a paediatric first aider.
So Maury McNama, you've wrote something there, but I don't think I can make quite sense of what the end bit is. Just write it again so I can get it.
Okay, so we're going to hover the head over the top of the stick, and we're going to just twist the head so it looks like he's shaking his head. So you're twisting, twisting, twisting as you're pushing it down, and again that just helps to stop the shape from distorting.
So Nick Ty's just joined us, mooning, Crimbly Crumblies, and wants to know if you've missed him. No. I'm sure we've all missed you, Nick. But you've just come in at the right time to look at this cute little fella. Look how cute he is. How cute is he, everybody?
So there he is. I think that's all the bits on, yeah. So all it means is just a little bit of a ribbon around the board. I mean, obviously, as I say, you could do this straight onto a cake. You don't have to do it onto a cake board like this. So it would look really nice. And again, you could, as Carol said, you could scale it down size-wise. So if you were doing like a fishing cake, you could actually do the fishing cake as the main theme, so maybe with a man fishing or whatever, but then you could do a nice little tiny frog on a lily pad.
Well, everybody loves this. Everyone's giving you lots of love hearts. They absolutely love it. So thank you. It's really nice to give the tutors some love hearts, let them know how well they're doing. So, you know, Julie's worked all day, just like all the tutors do, and then I collar them in here for a nighttime session for all of you as well. See, the thing with having electric gates is we don't let anybody out.
I know, and I don't know where the switch is to open it, so I can't go anywhere. I don't know. There we go. So just a little bit of ribbon just to finish it off. So this is just 12mm deep ribbon.
They're just saying it's lovely just being darker, that one, because it looks like you've got a male and a female.
Yeah. There we see when you could do that as your bride and groom toppers, couldn't you, on top of your wedding cake?
Cute them.
You could make like a little veil for the other one. Yeah. So that's the frog stud. Right, that's it. I'm off.
Right, yeah.
Done. Job done. I can go now. No, I'm going to actually look at a couple of the new Katy Sue moulds.
Right.
Next.
So I've asked Julie, because Julie used to be, she does things for Katy Sue, and I've asked her to look at Katy Sue's hot air balloon that's just come in. If the Karen Davis moulds were here, I would have given them as well to look at. But anyhow, the hot air balloon's coming in, and the garden accessory moulds come in. The garden accessory mould's not a new mould, but if you are thinking of things for Father's Day, so I've asked her to open the packets and let us show you how they work.
Absolutely. So let's bear in mind that this is the first time I've seen them tonight.
You didn't know about the hot air balloon, did you?
No, I'd seen a picture of it, but this is the first time I've physically seen it. I have used the other mould, so there's no excuse if that one goes terribly wrong, because I have, and actually I do love that mould. The gardening accessories one is fab.
Yeah, it's handy, isn't it?
I've used that one quite a lot in my own cakes, because obviously I run my own cake decorating company. I sell cakes.
Have you told them what your cake decorating company
No, I don't think I have actually. It's on my apron there. Yeah. So it's Julie's Cake in a Box. I've got new aprons.
Look, I saw that.
Pink
nice.
swoosh.
I like that. That looks nice, doesn't it? Yeah, normally I do tell you where everybody's from. We've told you before where Julie's from, but we do forget. Yeah. Do go over to her page, Julie's Cake in a Box, give it a like, and always leave some feedback over there as well. Yeah.
What you can do as well is if you forget the company name, if you go onto my personal profile, because quite often you tag me as Julie Rogerson in the lives and things. If you go over to my personal profile, there is a link in there to my. It says that I work at Julie's Cake in a Box, so you can just click on that, and that will take you straight to my page as well. So that's a bit easier. So what I've got here is I've got some Select Island. I think it's the Select Island, isn't it? Yeah, sugar paste. And I've actually, waste not, want not, I'm using the leftover paste from the class that I used to cover the board here. I actually coloured that up with Colour Splash Blue, which
really nice,
love.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, because sometimes I use the Rainbow Dust Pro Gels, but their blue is nowhere near like this. So that's going in my next order, some Colour Splash Blue. I like that.
If I've got one,
it's a lot better.
Take one from there.
Oh, thank you. It's very, very impressed with that colour. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to cover a cake drum just to show you, so that I can stick the moulds, the pieces on from the mould, rather than just kind of making them. So we're going to pretend that the cake drum is a cake. Okay. And I've not actually mixed that in completely, so it might well
a bit of a cloud effect.
Give us a little bit. We'll see how it goes. I'm just going to grab the big rolling pin again.
I'm actually surprised Chip is in here tonight. He's been a good boy, hasn't he?
He is.
So I've got little Chippy in the kitchen tonight. Not sure why he's in here, but he's decided he's not moving.
He's very
snoring. You hear him snoring.
It's a good job you can see me on the camera, so you know it's not me.
I think he's probably having a break from Lincoln. He's been traumatised from Lincoln. Lincoln's actually so much calmer now. He's now on He's now on, I think it's called chloroform or not chloroform.
Well, I hope not. No wonder he's calm.
Yeah.
He's not on that. He's on, is it called chlorocalm? I don't know. Something like that. He's on joint tablets and he's on diazepam. And I've got to be honest, I was watching him yesterday. He was skipping around like a new puppy. He's been absolutely as good as gold. He goes to bed at 9:30, don't wake up all night. So last week I really thought he was for the knackers yard because he drove me insane last week. So little Chip and him sleep together. Usually both of them are with me. I think Chip is in here glad to have some peace and quiet.
So what I've done is, you might have noticed, I actually turned that. I flipped. Normally when I'm rolling paste, I don't flip it over. But as I was turning it, I noticed that there was a little bit of a marbled effect going on there, which I quite like. So that's where I didn't mix the paste in properly.
Yeah, it's nice.
So we've got an accidental marble, which is fabulous. What a treat. But on the other side, it was just plain blue. I quite like that. So it looks like we've got a bit of a wispy cloud. And I've just got an old cake drum here that we're just covering, because it's just for a sample, just to show you what the moulds look like. So we've just dug out an old one.
Yeah, John's babysitting was not very good, was it? John last week was looking after Harrison, fell asleep on the settee. And Harrison, who's only 3, let himself out the front door. Thankfully we've got a private gate, but it's all private here. Let himself out, came in here and went, Grandad's asleep. In fairness to John, he was poorly. He'd cricked his neck at the gym and he'd been suffering for about 2 or 3 days, and he was in loads of pain, taking some painkillers, and he just dozed off on the settee.
See, the gyms are dangerous places.
Pardon?
Gyms are dangerous
Place,
places.
yeah.
Don't
He
want to
didn't
go
know
in
it
there.
was the gym. When he went back to the gym, he was telling the guy he couldn't move his neck, and the guy said, "Oh, I know what you've done there."
That's why I don't go to the gym. I just injure myself in the kitchen instead.
And sorted him out. I know, he did get a telling off from me though.
So again, the same as with the other cake drum that we covered. I'm just trimming the paste off around the edge.
So the big rolling pin now, we now do the 20 inch. This is the 24 inch that Julie's using here. It's the non-stick rolling pin, and we've got the 20 inch and the 9 inch. So Julie's using the 9 and the 24 tonight. Yeah. And as I say, the 20 inch is actually in stock as well.
Mm-hmm. So the 24 inch, it is big, but obviously I make it look even bigger than it is in real life.
We've had the 24
Disclaimer.
inch because it's for the full size of the grey board.
Yeah. I've bought myself one of these, which I'm taking home. And I ummed and ahed. I was going to buy the 20 inch one, but I've actually gone for the bigger one because I know that... Pardon?
You don't need both though, do you?
Well, we'll see. I didn't need both boards, did I? But I bought them both.
No, me and Karen decided we had to have both boards.
Yeah. So as I say, I've got this one purely because I was rolling out with a 20 inch rolling pin at home on my nice big board, and I was covering a 12 inch round. It was for a wedding cake, so it was a 12 inch round cake, which was 6 inches deep. And obviously the paste that I needed for that was quite huge. It filled the board, but my rolling pin didn't go all over the paste. So I thought actually it's worth me investing, because I know I've got some more wedding cakes coming up that size, so it's worth investing for me in the bigger one, just so that I know it's going to roll my full piece of paste that I need. So anyway, there we go. So that's just covered our board there ready, and then let's have a look at this hot air balloon mould. So there's the front of the packet there with some examples on of what they've done on the side of a cake, which is quite nice. So let's open this up.
Well, Debbie Hargreaves dropped her rolling pin and made a right racket.
Oh no.
And Lorraine Pike said gyms should be banned, they're dangerous. I must admit, he does come home with more injuries.
Absolutely.
And then goes back, and the guy always says, because he has a private trainer, the guy goes, "Oh yeah, I know what you've done there." Maybe you should ask me to do it.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't go to the gym. No, they are amazing places. They do fabulous things.
You got hot now. I'm hot again.
It is warm, yeah. So I have a Springer Spaniel, so she likes to go on nice big long walks. So that tends to be my exercise. That and running up and down my kitchen all day long. I get a lot of steps in.
I was just laughing there. Somebody said that they put their Fitbit on top of the food mixer and racked up the steps.
Ah, good thinking.
That's James Temple.
You see, I'm thinking as well when you're rolling, because obviously, and as well for me with my size, I have to like really I'm up and down when I'm needing paste to get my weight in it.
I just got my Fitbit on top of the KitchenAid and it racks up the steps.
What are you trying? Who are you trying to fill?
I know, but when you're rolling out your paste, if you've got a Fitbit on, then surely that'll rack up some steps, and it is racking up some muscles.
That's exercise.
That is an exercising. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I was doing it properly.
That's sort of okay, but
yeah. But on a mixer, no, that's maybe a little bit not.
You know, if you put it on the dog's leg and send it off running around the garden, that doesn't count.
Oh, no, I suppose not. I haven't got a Fitbit either. So, I've just dusted a little bit of corn flour in here. Sometimes you find with the moulds, depending on with the really intricate pieces, sometimes I like to add a little bit of Trex instead, but we'll have a go with this. As I say, bear with me, it's the first time that I've used this mould. So again, I'm just using the Saraceno white modelling paste because that's what I've got here. You could use sugar paste in these moulds. That looks a good size for that. And I'm just pressing down there. And I'm just working the excess paste to the end. But yeah, you could use sugar paste. If you've got like a quality sugar paste that's quite firm, you could use that on its own, or you could add some Tyler powder or some CMC just to thicken it up a little. Okay, so where it comes to the edge here, look, and I've got my excess paste there. I'm just going to use the side of my thumb and just scrape that off. And then I'm just going round and pushing the paste gently back into the inside of the mould, because we don't want to have any of our paste kind of going over that outside edge. Let's just flatten that off a bit. And then what you need to do is you need to just give the mould a little bit of a flex with your fingers like so, and then that's going to just drop straight out.
That's cute, isn't it?
That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah,
so that's the medium size hot air balloon. So let's do a bigger one as well. So I'm going to need a little bit more paste for that one. So I'm going to use this big piece. As I say, if it is too much, we can just move the excess off, so that's okay. So again, I'm putting the creased areas at the top, so I've got a nice smooth side underneath there that's going into the mould. And I'm just paddling that in with my fingers. Just pressing it down so that it gets that detail, because it's got like the really nice kind of sections there.
So somebody's just been asking, does the Wonder Dust work in the airbrush? I don't know, but I wouldn't recommend you put it in an airbrush, because if you did damage to it, I wouldn't want to be held responsible. But on Thursday night, I'm actually doing the live on Thursday. I'm quite nervous, not done a live for ages. So I'm doing the live on Thursday, so I'm going to be covering a cake with buttercream, and I'm going to be spraying it with the manual hobby core, which is the manual airbrush, the hobby core.
Right, okay, yeah.
And you can use the Wonder Dust in that. We're going to have a very gold glittery cake, buttercream cake.
That sounds good.
That's cute, isn't it? That balloon there.
So that's nice. And these are coming out really, really well. As I say, sometimes I found with the corn flour it doesn't come out quite so well, particularly with the really intricate moulds. But these are just popping straight out. Fabulous. And then again, just for the little one there, just with a small ball of paste, working it down the mould. Remove the excess there just with the edge of my thumb, and then pressing it back inwards so that none of the pieces of paste are going outside of the mould. And then that just pops straight out. So there's the little baby one. So they're quite cute, aren't they?
They're very cute.
I'm just going to do another
and I'm going
one
to
of
be
the larger
using,
ones.
whipping it up, making you with the Russian piping tips as well. And hopefully you can hear the birds again. The doors have been shut for a while because I was cold, but then I'm really hot, so, so I've opened them up. So you might be able to hear the birds again now.
There we go. So we're pressing that in. So you can see this time, hopefully, that I haven't got quite enough paste. Can you see it's not coming up to the edge of the mould there? So what you can do is you can infill the back with paste. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to push that right down to the bottom there, so that the bottom layer of paste is covering the whole of the bottom of the mould. And that way you don't get any of the join marks by adding any paste in. And I'm just going to grab myself a little bit more of the white paste here. And I'm going to do another layer just over the top of the mould there, just so that we know we've filled it. So I'm just going to flatten that off a bit with my finger.
So Debbie Howgary says, was your ears burning this afternoon, Carol? Julie was finding sparkle everywhere, was it?
I did, yeah. All my Noah's Ark case was all sparkly.
Sparkle, yeah.
It was really sparkly. I did pick something else up, and that was all sparkly as well. And then I commented, yeah.
We like sparkle.
Yeah, it was nice. There we go. So as you can see there, look, you can see there is a little bit of a join, but because that's on the back, it doesn't matter because you're not going to see that. So that's why, if you haven't used quite enough paste, rather than taking it out and starting again, just make sure that the whole of the bottom of the mould is covered in that first one piece, and then you can just add a little bit of extra on the back there. And then nobody's any wiser. So give it a little flex. Now you can see this one's not coming out quite as quick and easily as the others because I didn't put any extra corn flour in. So if I was to make another one now, I would then add a little bit more corn flour just to make sure that that comes out nice and cleanly. It still come out absolutely fine, but obviously the more times you put the paste in, you do need to keep refilling the corn flour and just giving it an extra little coat there. So there we go. So there's a nice little selection of hot air balloons. So now we're going to bring that back into shot. There we go.
Is that the top for the strings up there?
Yeah, that's for the strings.
Good,
it's cool, isn't it?
Because it's actually give you the rope effect as well, doesn't it?
I know.
I just spotted that bit. Just pass us a picture for it. Let's have a nose look at that.
Right, so I've got some brown modelling paste here. And this one smells of chocolate, so it's absolutely fabulous. So this is just the, there's all my bits. As I was tipping it up for the camera so you could see. So this is just the brown Saracina, which I'm going to use for the baskets. And this one, you will find if you buy this one definitely is a harder paste because this has got chocolate in as well, which smells gorgeous, but it is harder to knead.
Nice, yeah. It is nice.
So just be aware, if you get this one, it is harder than the others when you get it, but you can soon work it.
And the other thing that while I was playing with the website, I added new categories to the brand. So for Karen Davies and Katy Sue, I added another category that said new for 2021. So all the new moulds, because I was fed up of people not being able to find moulds.
Yeah.
So I thought, right, when you go to the brand now, do a drop down and then it's got the new moulds in the new category.
So I'll just pop a little bit more corn flour in there to tap out the excess. And then let's see how these go. So again, you've got your small, your medium and your large baskets. That's a bit too much paste there, but never mind. So again, we're just paddling it with my fingers till I get to the edge and then using the inside of my thumb there just to pull that paste off. Make sure all the edges are nicely tucked inside the basket. Give that a little flex. And there we go, so there's one basket, so that goes with the big hot air balloon, so I'm going to need 2 of those. So we're just popping the paste in. Ooh, that was quite a good guess, look, that fits exactly. And again, flex. So this is the thing that I like about the Katy Sue and the Karen Davies moulds. They really are flexible, so when you're getting your pieces of paste out, you can really flex the moulds. Because they are a really good quality silicone, which is good.
Yeah, they're quite they're really good, those moulds, aren't they?
Yeah. I've got drawers full of the... I've got quite a few of the Karen Davies ones, but definitely the Katy Sue ones. I've got drawers full, because obviously they used to send me the samples to work with. Neaten that edge a little bit where it just came out. There we go. So that's your medium-sized basket, and then the little teeny tiny basket just here. That one's coming out on my finger straight away, look, because I'm trying to as I'm trying to put the paste in, it's coming out. It's releasing it that quickly. So if you find that happen, sometimes, especially if your fingers are a little bit sticky, if they're warm, what you can do is use the wide end of the Dresden tool, look, because obviously the paste isn't going to stick that. The paste was sticking to my fingers where they were warm, and because it was a tiny little piece for this basket, so if I just pop that in with my Dresden tool, look, then that stays in. So there's my tiny little basket for that one. So I'll just move those down a little bit so you can see them. There we go, and that one as well. There we are. So there's your hot air balloons and your baskets. We're actually going to paint the hot air balloons in a minute. But let's just make some of these ropes. I'll try just do it with cornflour and we'll see. If we have any trouble releasing them, I'll use a little bit of Trex, but we'll give it a whirl first. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to roll a ball and then roll a thin rope. You sneaking by. Okay, and then we're going to lay this in.
Do we have the new football mould yet?
We do. It's on the website, yes, and it's in stock. So the new football mould and the new weather mould, both in. They're in the what's new section, but if you go to their brands, you'll see that I've now put another category in that says what's new for the year for both of them. I'm looking forward to seeing that football mould actually. Yeah.
Okay,
so hello to all our YouTubers who have not
yes,
really
said hello. You're doing you.
No.
Yeah, not said hello to them.
I've got a request from Doreen Page.
Oh yeah.
She says, can you do a demo with a toilet roll cake?
Oh, I know. We should do that one, shouldn't we? Because they're really popular, aren't they?
Are they?
Yeah, they are. I don't know why, but they are.
Yeah,
with the puppy to go with it.
With the what?
The puppy.
With the puppy.
I've made. They were quite common and quite popular back at the beginning of the very first lockdown. Do you know when there was all the toilet roll shortages?
Yes.
Right,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Okay, so with this I've rolled the rope quite thin. Sorry? Oh, my fix for Thursday.
Get me out of it. No, I'm doing I'll get it on the list. You'll have to remind me though. That's a good idea. We should do that one actually. And I'll probably give that one a go myself, to be fair. That'd be fun, won't it? So just give you an update.
I don't know how you do the puppy, whether it's going to be bigger.
I'm not making the puppy.
Oh, she must have a puppy as well.
Just to give you a run up, we're going to keep you busy with live. So we've got Julie in the kitchen tonight, had her here all day. We've got me tomorrow, buttercream flowers, Tracy Mann tomorrow night. And then at 8 o'clock, so Tracy Mann's finishing earlier, we have going to do the reveal for the shoe kits, okay? So there's not many shoe kits left and they're on offer at the moment. The next lot won't be on offer. So I've taken a hit on these, but so I think there's about 20 kits left if you want the shoe kit. Then Kim is doing it, so Kim is going to demo those shoes for you tomorrow. She's not going to do them all, but she'll get you started on how to do them. And then those who've joined the class, it's £20 for the class. That's Wednesday, all-day class. I'm going to show you everything in that class. And that class is a sit back and watch class. And you need to sit back and watch because you're going to learn so many things. Wednesday night, we have Rachel Hannah in the kitchen. She is going to be decorating a beautiful cake for you. And she's going to be talking to you about her master classes that she's going to be doing for the future. Thursday, you've got, got to think what we're doing on Thursday. Somebody's here on Thursday. I don't know what's happening on Thursday, I can't remember. But I'm here on Thursday night and Karen is in the kitchen on Friday. So I can't remember what's happening on Thursday. Something else is. I'll have to go and have a little sneaky peek at the calendar. So,
I know it looked a very busy week when I was looking on the banner.
Yeah.
Crazy. Okay, so with these, all we're doing is we're just rolling a thin sausage of paste, laying it over the mould, and I'm just using my Dresden tool just to press that in.
No, nothing on Thursday.
Oh no, there isn't nothing, yeah. No, you get a day off on Thursday, girls. So I know we're busy here in the kitchen, yeah, but there's nobody here, and there's no Tracy Mann on Thursday as well. But you have got me on Thursday night. How lucky are you? And then we've got the cake illusionists in on Saturday. Look at that beautiful pink flamingo. So what did you think of that, Julie?
Gorgeous.
It's gorgeous,
love it? Really lovely.
Everybody who's seen it has said that they can't, when they see it in real life, the pictures don't actually give it justice.
No, not at all.
It's fabulous. So hope you're all going to be really busy on all the classes. Going to keep you occupied. So Thursday is your day off, girls, until Thursday night.
So just sleep all day.
Yeah.
To recover.
And then next week we kick off with Lee Carroll in the kitchen. That's going to be a new guest for you. What have we got going on Monday day? Can't remember. But we've got a new guest in the kitchen, Lee Carroll, and he's watching tonight as well.
So what's he going to be doing?
He is going to be using the Katy Sue Flower Pro moulds, and if I remember right, he's doing the orchids.
Oh, lovely.
Saves me doing them.
Love orchids.
I love them. They're my favourite flowers.
There we go. So I've made 4 of the thicker ropes because obviously they're going to go with the larger hot air balloons. So these are a little bit fiddly, but once you get going with them, I think it's just a case of remembering to roll them into a thin like rope first and then pop it in. And just press that in gently, just to get that rope impression from the mould. As I say, and just you're probably better off using your Dresden tool because they are quite thin. And then I'm just using my Dresden tool at the end there just to snap the paste off, because we can trim these down to size when we've done them.
Just got that done it.
So that's the medium size one.
You're going to do them as long ropes, then, are you?
I don't know yet. I'm just making them for now, we'll see. I think some of them, looking at the pictures, some of them have used
strings, can't you, on the...
long ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we'll use them as ropes for the baskets.
Yeah, they look good, don't they?
On here. So just pressing that in. And like I say, we can trim them down to the size that we want.
They've been trimmed down, haven't they?
Some of them have, yeah. I think I saw, I don't know if I was looking, because when I realised I was doing this, I had a quick little look at some of the pictures on the website. And I think some of them have done them as quite long strings coming from the side, and then some of them have been done as really short ones. So I think for the small one, I'm just going to make one of the ropes and then cut that in half, because they are going to be really, really thin and really small. I'm just rolling that really narrow, make a bit more I think actually. So I think I would definitely recommend that you roll these really thin and just put them in the mould here just to texture them a bit. Take that end off. And I think the modelling paste is a really good idea to use for these, or you could use flour paste perhaps. I think it just gives you, because these parts are really quite thin. There we go. Let's take that one out, and then we can get painting. There we go. So that's all my ropes. Put that paste out of the way. I'm just going to move these to a side, and these can start drying a little bit while we're painting, and then the shapes aren't going to distort when we start using them. Pop all those over there. So for the hot air balloons, because they've got these nice little grooves in them, as I say, you could make some of the ropes and put them on top of the grooves. I'm going to leave them as they are for tonight. I've just got some of the fabulous Wonder Dust. So I've chosen, I'm going to use Purple Haze.
Have you tried the Wonder Dust, Julie?
I've tried some of them, yeah. I've tried one of the golds, which has been fabulous. I've been using that a lot.
Tracy Mann's phoned me the other day. She said, make sure I get that and I can sell it. I went, right, okay then. So they absolutely love it.
Yeah, really, really lovely. I've not used many of the coloured ones, but the gold I have.
The gold sparkle's gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I think for the cakes that I've been doing lately, I haven't had any need for the colours, but I'm trying to find some that I can.
Can you all hear Chip snoring? A few of them are saying, can you hear him snoring? Or hearing aids are good. I've taken a couple of pictures of him, I'll post them afterwards.
So I'm just mixing that with a little bit of dipping solution, just so we can paint it. And I'm actually listening to him.
We're snoring, so.
It's like being at home.
It's a proper little old man now.
Okay, I'm just going to pop a little bit of kitchen towel underneath these, just in case I go over the edges. And I am actually going to put my glasses on, because my eyes are a little bit tired.
So, it's going for it.
As much as I battle on and think, oh no, it's okay, I can see.
So we're having bling balloons, are we?
Bling balloons, absolutely. Okay, so we'll start with one of the bigger ones so I can see that a bit better. And then all I'm going to do is just paint the alternate stripes. So obviously I'm going to try and do this reasonably quickly so that we can fit plenty of things into the live, but you would spend obviously a lot longer. I'm painting this really nicely. Let's do the middle one.
Lorraine Pike used gold sparkle today, it's amazing. And Deb Bowditch says it would be lovely for the for Pride month. Annette loves that purple.
It is really nice, isn't it? That's why I chose it. I like purple.
It's like a two-tony purple. Have you seen it's coming out like a two-tone? Simon and I, when we were doing the photographs, were having a debate on how to show the colour. So Simon wanted to show what it looks like in the pot, which I agree with. And then we were thinking what we should do is show what it looks like after you've wet it.
Still not got.
We haven't made a decision still, have we?
Well, no, I think we were just going to get the wet ones, paint it, and then I'll make the other thing look like
what
wet
we're
one.
going to do?
I've just not done it.
Angela Blagg loves them all.
So you can tell when I'm concentrating because I go quiet.
Go quiet.
Yeah.
Are you going to do the balloons different colours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, I think I'm going to leave you all to let Julie do that while I go and put the kettle on and make a drink. And you can all enjoy listening to Chip snoring. So I'll leave you conversation.
Oh, right. And listen and enjoy me.
Enjoy a cup of tea.
Go on, have a TikTok, please.
Yeah, no sugar inside. Enjoy a cup of tea, Julie.
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Yes, the teal does look lush.
There we go. Okay, so that's the first balloon. And let's try the fuchsia pink this time. I thought that looked like a real nice one. I love pink. So let's give fuchsia pink a try. That in there. And then again, I'm going to be using the dipping solution just to dilute that into a little paint. So let's just bring that in, sorry. There we go, so you can see it.
I can come out if you...
Oops, there we go. So a little bit of dipping solution in there. Let's grab a clean paintbrush.
So that was the purple haze, wasn't it, that you used?
Yes, yeah, that was purple haze. This one is, what did I say, fuchsia pink.
Yeah, you're using fuchsia now.
Yeah, fuchsia pink now.
Beda loves fuchsia.
Right, let's just see how this goes. I don't know if I've made that a bit thick, but we'll give it a try. Oh no, that looks okay actually. So it's really good because it's got the ridges on the balloon. You can actually follow that around really well with your brush. And I really like this mould because, to be honest, I've tried making hot air balloons myself with paste and they never look quite right. You never get all the sections even. So I do quite like this. I'm quite impressed with this mould. I think it is one that I would use myself, definitely. I'm just going to add a tiny bit more just to dilute that a little bit more.
Carol?
Yeah?
Lorraine Pike would like tea or coffee.
Yeah, yeah. How many sugars?
Or black tea, sorry.
Well, I'm on black tea, you're on black tea, so we're all on the same. It's easy. I've just gone to the fridge to get milk, realising actually I don't need milk.
And remember to breathe when you're painting. I always forget to breathe.
What colour are you doing the next one?
I've got some deep rich gold, but I can use a different colour if you like.
Yeah. Might be a few more. Now, we haven't got these colours in stock. We are waiting for stock, but I think they'll like them on the balloons. We might have to make a few more balloons, Julie. You wasn't planning on going in, was you?
No, I'm here all night. Literally. And the good thing about these as well is that they dry, when you've used the dipping solution or the rejuvenator, these dry really, really quickly. So you should be able to handle those quite quickly to stick them onto the board. I'm going to move that one up out of the way. So that one's the fuchsia pink. And then Carol's just got me a couple of other colours out, so let's have a look, see what we're using next. Put that one there. We have got frozen blue.
Now this is one they're all going mad for, but it got lost on our last order. It's never ever turned up.
Oh, right.
So we don't know where it is.
Oh.
And there's a supplier who's supplying us as well, so we're waiting for our next shipment. Wanted to ship without the frozen blue this time, and we were like, you dare, they'll kill us. Get it done.
Did they not realise?
So it's meant to be delayed today for them to get frozen blue in, and then so hopefully it's going to be shipped today.
Okay, so let's give that a nice little mix around. So this is the frozen blue, which is lovely. Look at that sparkle. Okay, let's do the medium-sized balloon in this one then. So that's a really, really nice shade of blue. I like that. That'll look really nice as well with that sky, with that colour splash blue that we used.
So I think Patricia is has missed when you said the window dusts are coming into stock.
Well, we're hoping that we should have got notification to say that they were being dispatched on Friday, but then they were waiting for frozen blue, so they said that they would dispatch part of the order and then dispatch the blue later. So we said no, we want it all dispatched together. No, we've not had a notification today at all. So John is chasing them at the moment, but I would say it's very imminent, which means that if it is, it'll take a week and then it'll be in next week. So we're equally as frustrated as you guys, believe us.
So we should be okay for next week.
We should, yeah.
But I think it's definitely going to be worth the wait because these are lovely. There we go, so there's the frozen blue. And then I have also got for you fusion green.
Yeah.
So let's use a little bit of fusion green. Is that in there? That's rather a lot.
I was going to say you could use the gold between the pink and purples, couldn't you, if you wanted to?
Hmm?
You could use the gold between the pink and purples if you wanted to.
We could. We could.
What
We
was
could
you
have
thinking
really.
of?
We could white.
Oh, was it? Oh, no,
You think they're just getting away with not painting those bits?
Yeah, you're going to believe it.
Oh, I was thinking minimum effort here. Oof. Okay.
Can't get with that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I come back voluntarily for this. I choose to come back every time. Okay, so yeah, actually I agree that would look really nice. So we're going to have gold in between. Obviously I've left that till the end so that I can paint all the gold together, which is why I haven't done the gold yet, of course.
You weren't thinking you could do the same gold, were you, on FM1?
I think somebody needs to be a little bit quiet. Drink your tea.
And we've got copper and glow and bronze. You've got to go for the sparkle, the gold sparkle.
Yeah.
And we've got bright gold as well, that's nice.
You do know painting's one of my least favourite things.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think these would be great for the Christmas baubles. Can you believe that we're actually talking Christmas? I actually put Halloween BWB moulds on yesterday. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I can actually because my eldest son works for a meat producing company, and he works on the Christmas team, and they're actually starting to look at Christmas production
Right.
at the moment. And he said definitely it'll be cranking up in June.
Yeah.
For his involvement in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. And also from my perspective of, is that, can't see what that says. Does it say bright gold?
Yeah, that's bright gold.
Bright gold, yeah? Are we happy with that, or did we want
Let's
sparkly
get
gold?
the sparkling one out. I know, I can't believe it was 5 minutes ago when it was Christmas. And then,
Isn't that one?
yeah, that was it.
Yeah. Even with my glasses
And
on.
here we are, we're round again.
It seems like 5 minutes ago, but it was 6 months.
Yes, I know. Yeah, it hasn't 6 months flown by.
Yeah.
It has. But he's in charge of pigs
You're
and
in
blankets.
danger of that knife, you tonight. You're now throwing it around, aren't you?
Yeah.
Hey?
Are you worried?
Well, you've got history with it, haven't you?
I have. Absolutely.
And they're just saying what lovely steady hands you've got.
And to be fair, I did, last week I had 2 wedding cakes to make, and one of them was a hand-painted cake, which was, it was a silhouette of a tree, and then all the leaves were done with shades of teal and turquoise.
Yeah.
So just trying to find a paintbrush will be good. Don't know about my glasses, I think I need my sunglasses on. It's really bright and sparkly, that one, isn't it?
Sparkling away in the bowl.
It is. Okay, so let's go back to the purple one, which is the one we did first. Oh, look at that bling.
And Dixon started to make her Christmas cards.
That's it, these things take a long time, don't they?
Yeah.
So you're best to start off and do it, because otherwise if you leave it until later on then you've got to make loads in one go, you get fed up of them. Whereas if you spread it out, I'd say I'll be starting to think about Christmas tutorials soon. I've got Halloween ones that I'm working on next, but then after that it will be Christmas. There we go. So we're just painting in between the lines. Oh, actually, yeah, it does look nice with gold. I'll give you that. It does.
Thank you.
I think if you were doing plain colours, so if you had like matte colours, having a white stripe in between would work well, but I think with it being sparkly, it does look better with the gold.
Well, Simon's just taking the picture with this mould, but I'm going to send these little things back with him. Take them again with these. Well, actually, you don't need the mould again. Just take that back, don't you?
Yeah, I don't even need to take them back. Are they going on the board?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to put them on the board.
I'm amazed that he stayed in this kitchen tonight. Then.
I know he's been good as gold, hasn't he?
Yeah.
If it wasn't for snoring, you wouldn't know he was
it's the
there.
sparkling gold, you know. I think that's
Isn't
the
it?
bright gold.
Oh, is it?
Mm.
It's sparkling, that.
It's really sparkly.
Yeah, but the sparkling gold is
Is it
really
sparkly even more?
Let's have a look. What's this tray over?
Which one was it I used? What have I done with it? What's that? It's that one.
Oh, actually, yeah, it's the sparkling gold.
There we go. And because I've put it on the kitchen paper, I can actually use the kitchen paper to move it around so that I'm not touching what I'm painting. There we go. And again, we'll just paint that little bit at the bottom as well, for a bit of added bling. Don't want to leave any white.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. And then the other two as well. Just touch that up there where I've missed a bit. And let's do the frozen blue. And these would look nice with the other metallic shades as well.
Yeah. Oh, Wayne Chavers has just joined us. He's just got up. It's not here. You're not usually here on the night one, are you, Wayne? He's normally on the morning ones.
Ah, right.
So he's in Australia.
Is it Australia? Right. Oh, so what time is it in Australia then? Is it morning?
I've no idea. What time is it in Australia where you are, Wayne?
8:45.
In the
Oh,
morning?
breakfast time.
Let's see. Don't know.
I can't remember where he lives in Australia.
There we go, and then just a little teeny tiny one as well. So you might want to use a finer paintbrush really for that one. But we'll just do it really gently, like that. And like I say, that bit of gold sparkle has really brought them to life, hasn't it? They look a bit Persian.
Yeah.
With those colours, don't they? Especially with the purple and the pink.
Yeah.
And the blue as well, and the green. Yeah, they all look Persianish. There we go. Okay, so then, let's have a look at popping these on the board. So we'll have the waves going across this way because obviously we're thinking it might be a bit of like sky. I'll take my glasses off now. So these could be like wispy clouds going along. So a little bit of water. And let's stick the basket in first. Let's pop that basket there. And then so a little bit higher up we're going to pop the balloon. I'm just going to use my dreaded knife just to help me
pick. With you and a knife.
Sorry, just to help pick that up and transfer it onto the board so we're not actually touching it.
So, and do you know what Deb Bowder, she's just said a good thing. Turn them round the other way and they would make great Christmas baubles.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely they would. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to paint...
Or a punching bag.
Punching bag, yeah.
Punching
I'm just
a bit random, I know.
I know, it's alright.
Typical man decision.
Wayne lives in Sydney and I don't know whether he's told us yet what time it is. Oh, it's 7 a.m.
Oh, 7 a.m. Oh yeah, definitely breakfast time. Move that to his side. I'm just going to use this cutting board here just so that I can trim the ends off these ropes.
Mandy Harvey says all she can see is Aladdin.
Yeah. Okay, and then let's pop those in place.
Mickey King loves the blue and gold. I think it looks really nice with the gold, to be fair. I think it looks really classy.
I'll give you that one.
It does look really classy, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
And let's just trim. Oops.
Oh, Maria did say Christmas balls. Crikey. Simon, you did half jump then.
Oh dear.
Jill's right. I'm not talking.
You're on edge.
You're out twitchy tonight.
That's why I'm not saying much. I was just. I've lost my voice again.
Yeah. Can you get it out?
There we go. So as I say, you just want to be positioning your ropes in place, a little tiny bit of water on the board, and then let's just pop that balloon back. Like so. And there's like your little ropes going up there.
It's amazing how loud it is when they've got their headphones in. How loud have you got your earphones on?
It's flipping them up the meters off the scale, yeah.
Yeah, because Angela says you're going to make me have a kiss and a jump then. I bet that won't chip up. No, he's still snoring
Well,
here.
apologies to her. I did suggest we turn it off.
What? And I said no because I'm fed up of flies wandering in.
So this time what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop the ropes on first, see if that makes it a little bit easier. So I'm popping the water just on the back of the rope there. I've trimmed them both to the same size.
I think that's a better way to do it.
Yeah, I do. Trial and error, I think. And then a little bit of, see I'm covered in glitter right now, so I can't complain anymore.
With your blue finger.
Oh dear. Honestly, I'm a liability. Can't take me anywhere. Just a little bit of water on the top there, and let's pop that other balloon in place. So I'm just picking it up with my knife to move it. You could use like a palette knife as well. And let's just position that in place. There we go, that went on easier. There we go, so that's two balloons. And then let's pop a couple of the smaller ones in. So in actual fact, I only needed one rope.
Yeah. So we have to thank Julie for doing this tonight. She had no idea she was going to be playing with these moulds. She said to me last week, what would you like me to do? And she sent me a picture of the frog and I went, yeah, great. And while we're having tea tonight, I went, Julie, I've got 2 moulds, you wouldn't mind having a look at them, would you? And at 10 to 8 she got given them.
Yeah.
So I think for a first time use it's absolutely brilliant. So I think some of you, if you were using them, could think of a little grass theme on the bottom of your cake.
Yeah.
And you could use your FMM cutters for your clouds. And in fact, you could use the Karen Davies new weather mould. So she's got the new weather mould there.
That
it's got
brilliant. Isn't there like little rainbow and things like
there's a rainbow, there's a big sunshine, there's clouds.
Yeah, them two together would be perfect. There we go, so let's just pop that one. I'm just trying not to touch the gold because gold was the last one that I used.
I think she said, I don't know how you say her name, is it Meek? N-A-I-K? N-A-I-K? And yeah, she says she's got her headphones in so her husband doesn't know she's watching S&C Lives again. So I think all husbands should be really happy that you settle down with us on Mondays and Thursdays. They get the telly to themselves.
I know.
Yeah.
Definitely. So obviously these ones
Jenny
are really
March
fine.
has said she's really enjoyed this live tonight. And what's wrong with all the other lives, Jenny?
They haven't got me on them. That's what's wrong with the other lives.
Much better than that last week's.
And now the police or the ambulance crew's gone by, Linda Miles says, and now we're going to be arrested.
There we go. So little, those ones are teeny tiny.
Oh, she says, just say Anna. Are you taking the mickey, Karen Naylor? Karen Naylor says, these would look great. These would look fab in the distance on one of your palette painted landscapes, Carol. The ones that you have to step back a long way and have a look.
The abstract.
I was doing palette painting and close up they look rubbish, but when you stand them right back...
They're like oil paintings, aren't they?
So John said, I'll let you know when I get to Bredbury what it looks like.
Oh dear. There we go. So obviously if I was doing these on a cake, I would paint them a little bit in advance and let them dry a bit. A little bit of the glitters come off there on that one.
Yeah.
But there we go.
So this was just to show you how the mould works, and then it's up to you now to be creative and do other things.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, I think the colours on there look fantastic. What do you all think?
Yeah, they're really nice, aren't they?
And they're all saying they need more of S&C when the football starts. Yeah, that's true. We'll be here. Yeah, that's the ones in the telly then, won't they?
Definitely.
And the rain pipe said her husband would be delighted at watching S&C if it didn't result in another order.
But I really like that mould. That's really, really nice. Did you want a quick look at the other one?
Quick look, may as well. Let's go for it. So this is the garden accessories. So we're going to finish off with this one and then we're done.
Real quick.
So you've only got 6 minutes, so it will be quick.
No worries. No problem. Okay, so this one I've used before, so I'm quite happy with this one. Yeah. It's fine. So again, a little bit of corn flour into your mould. This is really good for gardening cakes. I do a lot of gardening cakes. Let me just grab some different colours here. So I had all the colours with me today because of the Noah's Ark. I just brought the whole range. I think the only one I didn't bring was Tiffany Blue because I haven't got that one. Okay, so let's make some orange wellies. So again with this one, you can, if I can find my black, you can give it some black soles on the bottom. So a little tiny bit of your black paste. And just roll it into a thin sausage. And you can see at the bottom here, there's like a ridge where the sole of the welly is, on the boots. So I'm just going to use my Dresden just to poke that in.
Yeah, green wellies, they're saying.
Oh, sorry.
Well,
We're having orange
You're having
wellies.
orange
ones.
Yeah. I was going to do pink ones, but actually, to be fair, I didn't bring my pink Saracina, so I thought orange was maybe the best. It was the first one I grabbed. I've only got 6 minutes. I used the green.
Have you got orange wellies?
Have I got orange wellies? No, I've got pink ones. And I can't remember what other colour I've got.
I remember at one time when they only ever did green or black wellies.
I'm sure you can get orange
ones. You can get
ones.
them in everything, can't you?
Absolutely. I'm pretty certain you can get orange. Okay, so again.
Yeah, they're saying orange plant pots and green wellies.
Oh, sorry.
What colour plant pots are we having then?
Green. My life. My life, my colours.
That's right, your live, your colours, that's right. Well done, Julie.
There we go. So again, we're flexing that mould.
Actually, I quite like it like that, to be fair.
And obviously what I would do is just brush off any of that corn flour, because I did kind of drench it in corn flour there, but that will just brush off. And they would be nice as well if you had some confectioner's glaze, just to glaze over the top to make them some nice shiny wellies. So there's your orange.
So confectioner's glaze is also known as cake glaze. It's we do the cake star, we do this sugar flare, and I'm not sure if the spectrum flows is back out, because theirs was off for a while, wasn't it? Here, media glaze.
All of the glaze. So let's have a look. So this was the colour that I used for the giraffe actually, and this is a mixture of yellow and orange Saracina. Just to, because sometimes the yellow is quite bright.
Could with gold wellies. Could paint them with gold wellies.
Not tonight.
You've got 3 minutes left, Julie. It's fine. Don't worry.
Whose side are you on?
Maria Wilson says she loves that, how quick you are. My life. She's getting to the end of a very long day. She's had enough now, ready for her bed.
There we go. Okay, so there's your little plant pot.
Yeah. They're cute though, aren't they?
They are lovely. Now these, the little trowel and the fork, these are fab. I use these quite a lot. So I'm going to give it a brown handle. It's like a little wooden handle.
Could you put 2 of those size of plant pots together and make a whole one to stand up? Would that work?
Yeah. In another live, yeah, you could.
You could do, yeah.
You could, but we're not going to.
And Linda Mauer says she's got this mould and it's fab gold pots.
Gold pots?
We all like their bling, these lot, don't they? Eh?
Don't they?
We don't want none of that terracotta rubbish here. We want bling.
Okay, so I've got a tiny little bit of black, which I'm going to mix in with some white just to make grey. And I did have a little ferret about, but I couldn't see any silver dust to...
there is some in there, but I can't do it in the top.
But otherwise, we could just have grey.
Yeah.
And you can imagine that they've been painted. Okay, so if we do the little trowel, so again pressing that in. If you need to, use your Dresden, because these are quite small. And then just a little bit of brown paste for your handle. So again, we're rolling it into a really small little sausage there. And popping that in. I'm actually going to put the brown a little bit over onto the grey, just so it sticks it together a bit.
No, I haven't got the silver here. The problem is, when I've got people here all the time, I give it away. Karen goes mad. So
that's okay, because we can have grey.
Eh?
We can have. They can be dull. They're old. They've lost their shine.
Karen goes mad. She goes, because she comes back in. She goes, "Where's that?" And I go, "Oh, I'll give it away."
There we go. So there's your little trowel there. Sorry, I've got corn flour all over your board from the mould.
Quite sparkle.
There we go. It just gives them the idea, doesn't it? Of,
yeah.
With the grey, you can tell what it is. And then again with the fork. So we're just popping that in. And this one, sometimes with these, I find it's good to put them in the fridge for a few minutes, especially like with the fork, because the prongs are quite thin. So sometimes it can go a little bit out of shape when it comes out. If you are struggling with it, just pop it in the fridge for a few minutes or the freezer.
So I've met Nikki King and she's the same height as you.
Oh, right.
And she's going, never argue with a short woman.
No.
We're dangerous.
No, especially not when they've been on the feet all day.
Short but mighty.
Absolutely.
And Debbie Agri says she's tall but a big softy. And Nikki says even if her bum does hit the curb when she crosses the road.
So again, as you can see, look, as I'm flexing the mould there, it's almost popping out.
So Mandy Harvey said you could mix some of the purple Wonder Dust that you got and do little polka dot wellies. That would be nice.
Wouldn't it?
You've run out of time, you don't have to do that.
They're cute, those, aren't they?
They are
Those
really
little
nice,
tools, they are
definitely.
They've come out easy enough as well, haven't they?
Yeah. Like I say, sometimes you might just find just popping them in the freezer, because sometimes with the fork, the prongs can go a little bit out of shape as you pull it out. So
that's a good idea. Spray the grey with the silver finish and sparkle. Tracy Mann does it and it looks silver.
What have I got that's still wet? The gold. Oh, not really. Sorry, you can't see me there, what I'm doing. That got me that time.
That one. That made me jump. It must have been a big one, that one.
Okay, so a little bit of gold over your plant pot.
Are you sleeping with that on tonight or is it going off?
No, it's going off. I'll wrestle with the flies.
Oh, we are having gold plant pots then. Yeah.
There we go.
A gold plant pot.
A gold plant pot. And
purple dots.
Purple. It's a good job you've got loads and loads of
brushes.
Okay.
There you go. How cool is that?
There we go.
So haven't we had a great live with Julie, everyone? So everybody who's been in class today, thank you for joining. Those ladies who've not been in class, feel free to join the class. It's something you're going to absolutely love. And we do want to say a massive thank you for Julie. I love it when they actually say that they'll do a live after working all day as a class.
Oh, it's good fun. I enjoy it. Yeah. Who needs to?
Hasn't she done really well today? So do you want to get your frogs back on so they can see them?
Sorry.
So are we going to name these frogs then? We've got names for them? I'll let them all think of them.
Yeah, have a think. Comment with some names for the frogs.
Have a think, yeah.
Let's see.
So thank you all for joining us. So I hope you're going to join me in Buttercream Flowers tomorrow, ladies. Then with Tracy Mann tomorrow at 6:30. Then back here in the kitchen with Kim Firth doing the shoe kits. Look at these fabulous shoes in the background there. She's not going to show you how to make them all, but she'll be showing you a hell of a lot in the class on Wednesday. And then Wednesday, so we've got the class all day Wednesday, and then Wednesday night we've got Rachel Hannah back in the kitchen talking, because a lot of you have done the introduction to wedding cakes, and now she's going to do the master classes. So she's going to talk about them and do a fabulous demo for you. Thursday you've got the day off, we'll let you have a rest. Thursday night I'm back in the kitchen and I am going to be whipping it up with the Russian piping tips and decorating the cake with the hobby core. First of all, we're going to spray it with wet Wonder Dust through the hobby core, and then we're going to dry spray it so it really, really sparkles. So this kitchen is going to be very blingy on Thursday. We might even get plenty over Simon's beard. So
be like Christmas.
Thursday night.
Christmas come early.
Thursday night.
Not at the moment.
You're not on Thursday night, no.
Because I was doing Friday.
Well, we could swap around now, can't you?
So, I don't know.
So, and then Friday we've got Karen free from bacon, because we've moved dough to next Friday and we've changed the name to something for the boys. And if any of you have been in the community group, go and have a look at the pictures anyhow on the class and you'll see what we're going to do in the class instead. And then, Julie, tell them about, again, what's your Facebook page called?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's Julie's Cake in a Box, and obviously if you struggle finding that, if you go onto my personal profile, Julie Rogerson, and there is a link in there as well to the Facebook page.
So make sure you go over and like her page, tell everybody on there what you thought of the live tonight, and what a great teacher she is as well for all of those who've been in class and watched the live. And I just want to say a big thank you to you all for joining us. Thank you, Julie, very much.
No, absolutely, pleasure. I always love coming.
Do we know what we're doing next with you? Have you thought of your next cake?
I've been in discussion with Kerry, and a few people in the classes that I've done previously have been asking for a meat pie. So we're looking at. I'm looking at some different options to see how to do it a little bit differently, because obviously there's quite a few out there. So we're going to have a look and see what different things I can come up with. I just need to find some time to make it, and then. But I'm back in September.
That's where we want.
So I'm having a little break. Well, I'm not actually having a break. I'm full on with cakes. Yeah, cakes and orders and everything. But yeah, back in September to come and see you again. So I'm doing a live at the beginning of September, and then I'm coming back to do the class at the end of September.
No worries. Mary Walsh, call the office tomorrow. Karen Naylor's online here. If you message Karen Naylor your mobile number, she'll give you a call tomorrow and she'll help you with that. So she wants to buy a class but struggling to get on. So big thank you to you all, and we'll see you tomorrow afternoon, buttercream flowers, and tomorrow night the rest of you for the shoe class. Cheerio.
Okay, thanks a lot. Bye.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Bye, Simon.
Bye.